You know, I took this program as a personal challenge. I talk the talk, that I'm a lifelong learner. I think it was time for me to walk the walk. I want to be an example for all those kids out there that think education isn't necessarily for them, or that when we say to a kid, you know, we want you to reach your potential, you want to be able to model that behavior and to be that example to say, hey, you know, I had challenges and, you know, I wasn't always the most engaged in school, but I did it because I found a passion, something I really enjoyed learning about, and I took it all the way.
I felt I matured as an educator. Mostly I learned, I didn't know everything. I didn't always look at the big picture. I didn't always have a conversation to understand what somebody else was telling me. It was more about me trying to tell somebody what I knew. And through our cohort, I learned to listen, to analyze, to think deeper. But the biggest takeaway was having a better understanding of the system and looking at the inequities in the system and understanding my role and what I can do to change that or to have an influence on that. I think as educators, we often feel helpless and we feel somebody's doing it to us and they're making the rules, they're making the policy. This really makes me feel empowered that I'm in a position to change those things, to change the structure, to create the systems that work best for all of our students.
I'm currently working in county government, doing public policy work, and I got really interested in education policy because I served on a school board for 9 years. And so I really do, in the future, whatever I'm going to be doing, it has to do with education, it has to do with policy, and how to make systems better for our kids. And it's one of the things that made me angry is the way that schools design for a particular population. And that it keeps other kids away. And by that, I mean kids of color, marginalized community. And so that has, I've never questioned that before. I just always thought that if you work hard, that all kids should succeed. And unfortunately, our school system just isn't designed that way.
I came into the program with the purpose of supporting the students, the underrepresented students. And the program has just given me an opportunity to challenge myself, to advocate more for the students. It has empowered me to not to be scared of advocating for the families, of helping the students. I do work with many, mostly Latino families, and it's just, the program has just helped me, you know, every time that I take a class or every paper that I have turned in, it's a case that I'm working, and I have to think that I'm working with people, with human beings. And I think that's for me, it's very powerful because I have put in practice what I'm learning in the program.
One of the unique aspects of this program is that it allowed me to complete a documentary in tandem with my dissertation. So the biggest, you know, takeaway from that experience was that my research is able to be seen by a really wide audience. And I was able to produce something that the students and families and teachers, social workers, administrators that participated in the film were able to see and were able to kind of, you know, give me feedback on if I had told their story the way that they felt, you know, was true to who they were. I'm hopeful that my film, which addresses the experience of homeless students and families when they interact with the education system, I'm hopeful that it will change the current system and that it will make a positive impact and that it will result in some actual changes in policy and practice at a large national level, state level, district, and then also just from school site to school site, and then in each community.
In terms of my biggest aha moment, I think I would take us all back to Costa Rica and the different schools that we were able to visit, particularly the school whereby students were learning through doing. Talk about project-based learning. They were growing fruits and vegetables, and then even selling some of those fruits and vegetables and using budgets in that way, and economics, and really engaging in business-like activities, all the while obviously gaining a rich education. So I think that was a big aha moment, how we can engage our students in other ways that are more hands-on and more project-based, and maybe even more a better foundation or a better situation for learning at higher levels.
When I first came into this program, I saw myself very much a certain way, and I classified myself as a certain type of person. And this program has very much allowed me and made me think about myself differently. I've grown so much as a person. I've accomplished so much more that I ever thought that I would be able to accomplish. One of the things that was told to us at the beginning of this journey was that our responsibility starts as soon as we finish our dissertation. And so I work in this small school district, rural community, and what this program has allowed me to do is look at my district very much, I've been able to look at my district very differently. What I mean by that is I've been able to look at certain issues and certain political dynamics that may be involved, and I've been able to approach it differently and provide possible solutions based on the knowledge that I've been able to acquire here in the program.
I started the program with certain background, knowledge and experience as an educator, being in my 31 year in education, and I'm leaving the program feeling that I'm transformed in another individual. You might ask the reason why. This program do bring a lot in terms of transformational experiences. You challenge your own beliefs. You go through so much learning and so much reading that you start building your own criteria and your own opinion in very formal challenges in our public system and our public educational system. So I will say that I'm leaving the program with greater knowledge, which I value and appreciate, but also I feel like I'm a better human being. I feel that I can understand more, that I'm more sympathetic, and that I have more understanding of the challenges that some of our students face. And that is so extremely valuable for me as an educator and as a woman, as a Latino woman, who probably face a lot of the challenges that these kids are facing nowadays.
When I came into the program, I did come in as one kind of a person. I came in as a person who thought she knew things that she really didn't know. I came in as a person that didn't know how to find the answers to the things she didn't understand. I'm leaving a person that's more confident. I'm leaving a person that's more resourceful. I'm leaving a person that is more humble, because I do understand the things I don't know. I also understand the things that others don't know, and I understand how to support them so that they can find a way to help our students out in the school districts. The reason I got the degree was because I would go to work and I would be working for ways to support students with disabilities and to support their families. And I was always looking to experts outside of my district to help support me. And I got frustrated and thought, why am I not the expert in this field? Why am I not the person that people are coming to? And I didn't want other directors and other leaders in school districts to have to search for that expert. And if they did, I wanted them to look for me.
The biggest takeaway I have from this program is, as a classroom teacher, having the confidence to sit at the decision-making table and speak my point of view and the point of view of my students, and being an expert in my field, like the administrators and other leadership members of leadership at the decision-making table. I'm a proud member of the California Teachers Association, and with this degree, I hope to bring more people together, particularly classroom teachers and educators, and show them that their voice is powerful and give them the tools to start making changes and policies that affect what happens in their classrooms and their students. I hope to have teachers be the voice at the table, be the strongest voice at the table that gets to make the decisions about what happens for students.
In my dissertation, which was on relational trust in an urban comprehensive public secondary school district, was between principals and teachers in a hierarchical role relationship. Broken trust seems to permeate school communities, and in the future I'd like to continue my work, specifically addressing broken trust and how administrators can work to repair that and build positive relational trust with educators. What I kind of gathered out of this program was both professional and personal growth. On the professional front, really opened up my eyes to different perspectives, challenged me to see different points of view, while also really providing me with a great foundation for change, to be able to meet the demands of education in the 21st century.
In my opinion, the biggest takeaway from this program would have to be the friendships and the connections I've made. Long after the dust is settled with the work and the dissertations, those friendships are going to be there and they're going to be lasting. The resources, the insights I can gain, I have now a network of people across the entire Bay Area that I can call and that I can trust and call and get insights on, what do you think of this initiative? What do you think of this program? What do you think of this curriculum? And that will be helpful for me well beyond the end of this program.